Alrighty, welcome back everyone, it's Garland here bringing you another Neverwinter video, and as the title says, yes, we are going to be talking about fashion and transmogs today, specifically transmogs. Now I know you thought you would never hear those words be uttered on my channel, and normally you would be correct. Anyone that knows me, knows that I don't really care for fashion. I don't really care about transmogs. I mean, if you give me a cloth tunic that looks like a paper bag and it has 1,000 power on it, and you give me the best armor in the game that only has 500 power on it, I'm gonna take the piece of shit cloth bag. I care about raw statistics. So why are we doing this video? Well, in the latest State of the Union address, State of the Game, whatever you want to call it, Mr. Thomas Foss hinted that he does want to work on transmogs in the future. Now this video is directed to him, Mr. Thomas Foss. I hopefully will send it to him. Hopefully he watches it and maybe takes something that I say into consideration. He is in charge over there. He doesn't have the final say in things, but he has some pretty big pull over there that basically, if he wants to get it done, it'll get done. So if he wants to take, 2 months, 3 months and lollygag around instead of making the content that us players actually want, if he's going to do this, if he's going to put assets and materials and time investment into something like this, then I would rather see it be done at least correctly than, just something tossed together quickly. So we are talking about transmogs specifically. Now, in Mod 13, they did add a fashion bag. These are strictly only your fashion items. These are not going to be your transmogs, unfortunately. Now, they can incorporate the fashion tab in with some kind of new transmog system. If you go ahead and look, if you're in Mod 13, and you can go ahead and look in the Zen store, you go down to services, and, right here, the fashion bag, you can already increase your fashion bag. 12 slots is going to cost you 250 Zen. Now, what do I mean when I say, I want to see this done correctly? Well, there are several ways they can implement some kind of transmog system into the game. An easy way out, of course, is all they have to do is invent a new item, toss it in the Zen market, and put a price tag on it. That item will simply just remove your transmog back into your inventory. Now, like I said, I don't want to see that method. However, as a Cryptic business aspect, I could see them doing that because it's going to generate revenue. However, there's such a low populace that people care about transmog and fashions that it's not going to make them that big of an income off of it. It's not going to make them that much revenue if they would put an item like that in the Zen market. Now, of course, yes, that is the easy way out. They can simply just toss that item in there. You pay X amount of money, like I said, 500 Zen maybe, that's $5 to remove your transmog. Chances are when you remove it, it's going to be account bound or character bound. Heaven forbid it became unbound. I mean, God only knows how many people would be crying about that. You have some pretty rare transmogs out there that you simply can't get anymore. And you have some of these people that have those transmogs, unfortunately, that are already transmogged onto a piece of gear, thus leading it to a bound piece of gear. So if you were to put an item in game that would remove that transmog from like Mod 5 and make it unbound, and then you were able to sell that for like 50 million AD, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of salty people. So unfortunately, I can see the pros and cons as far as taking the easy way out. So yes, they can just simply toss an item in the Zen market, toss a price tag on it, and if people want to spend Zen on it, then that's, their prerogative. Now, some people watching this video might not even know what a transmog is so for instance, my little baby warlock here on the PC server, the armor of malice is my visual appearance, okay? This is the armor that I'm wearing, guys. So, for instance, if I was to go up here and go to the collections, and let's go over to some of the new stuff here. Let's just use some hunt gear. This is mod 13 hunt gear right here. So say I have a, you know, Chest of the Fallen Rain, or the Vined Death, what's that say? Death Delayer? Yeah, the Vined Death Delayer. Okay, so I'm wearing this armor, but I want to put my visual effect, the Armor of Malice, on this, or vice versa. So if I liked, let's see, this is what the Vined looks like, and I also have this mask on too. The Mane of the Manticore. So if I wanted those visual effects, but I wanted to keep the armor that I was wearing, well, I mean, I shouldn't have to do a tutorial, but in case I do, you know, you just click the item, you change appearance, and then you would put your transmog here. Now, I don't have anything currently that I could transmog on here. So what Thomas Foss is saying is that you put all that time and investment, and you want to look good, okay? And you're putting those transmogs on gear. Well, what happens when you upgrade? You know, we're playing an MMO here, people. It's supposed to be an ever evolving game, right? Every future update, you're supposed to upgrade your gear. So, for instance, Mod 13 just came out. You're going to be upgrading to certain pieces of gear. Well, what happens when you don't like the way those pieces of gear look, and you like your old gear? Well, you're going to transmog your old gear onto the new gear. Well, eventually that stops working, you know, because now maybe you change your mind, maybe something else new comes along, but you want to keep that old stuff. Currently, you can't keep the old stuff. That's the problem, and that's what Mr. Foss would like to see changed or improved on. Now, like I said, we could take the easy way out. They could simply slap an item in there, and bada bing, bada boom. Now, I'm suggesting a different method. We're actually going to go take a look at another game, another, if you want to call it an MMO, it's not really an MMO, but you can play with people, you know. We're going to take a look at it, and they actually have a fashion and transmog system of their own, and I think something of this nature would work out very well. So we're going to jump on that other game. I'm going to show you that system. Give me a second, guys. Alrighty, guys, and we're back. As you can clearly see, we are now on Diablo 3. Now, why am I showing you this? Because Diablo 3, I feel, has a very good transmog system. If we scroll down the list here, this is my Demon Hunter, my Wizard, my Monk, my Barbarian, my Witch Doctor, and then finally my Necromancer. Now, there's a lot of, I want to say, fashion that's involved in Diablo 3, and they do it in a certain way. So we're going to go ahead and just log into the Barbarian for right now. And I will quickly show you guys. They have, let's say, a vendor. So you're going to go to a vendor, and basically you can transmog any of the items that you have on you right off the bat. If I can find it. Let's see here. So, for instance, you can clearly see my character right here, correct? So, if I want to change my Sky Cutter, which is the sword that I'm holding right here in my hand, all you have to do is scroll over the item, and it will change it. And you can do this for, now it's going to cost gold. Now, gold is the currency in Diablo. So what I'm suggesting is that they come up with a system exactly like this, but it would cost Astral Diamonds every time you wanted to make a change. Now, how do you accumulate all these weapon skins is your next question, I'm assuming. Now, anytime you pick up a unique item in Diablo 3, it gets added to your transmog collection. That's why I like it so much. These are all things that I've already collected, and then I can go back at any time and change to it without changing my actual weapon. So I'm always going to be using the Sky Cutter, but it's going to have a different weapon skin on it whenever I please. So you still have to work, you still have to grind. If you want a specific transmog, once you have obtained it, so I'm saying as in Neverwinter, your collection tab, once you have obtained an item at least once and it's in your collection tab, then you should be able to transmog it into anything that you're currently wearing at any given time for a course, you know, a cost of Astral Diamond. And of course, there is different tiers. So these basic weapons here, you know, don't mean shit, you know. Some of them look cool. If you like that, then that's fine. There you go. You know, there's just numerous items in Diablo 3 that all have specific transmogs to them. So if we just go further down the list, you know, we'll eventually start hitting legendary items here. So here you go. Here's a specific legendary skin that I can put on my current weapon to make it look better, or to make it look how I want to look. Now, some of these have effects. You can see this one has blood dripping off of it, etc. Now, I don't think this would be a very hard system to code, but I know Cryptic is very limited on their resources, and they have timelines of what they can accomplish. This is nothing more than a suggestion. This is how I would like to see it done. Now, some of you may agree with me. Some of you may say, hey, Cryptic, go ahead, throw that item in the Zen shop. I'll gladly buy it. I will not buy that, okay? If you put an item in the Zen market that all it's going to do is cost me $5 to remove a transmog, I am not going to pay $5 for that. If you want to please your player base, this is the way you do it. Anytime a player in Neverwinter collects an item out of their collection tab, if they're able to be, you know, if it's an item that's able to be transmutable onto another piece of gear, then they need to put in a system like this where you just go to a vendor, it brings up all your collection tab items, and bada bing. You know, it costs you a little bit of Astral Diamonds every time you change. Nothing outrageous either. You know, 100k AD, no one's going to do that. I think, you know, transmogs right now are 5,000 AD. So it's just a suggestion, guys. Like I said, Thomas Foss, I really hope you watch this video. I hope you take it into consideration. If it could be done, I would love to see it done. I think Diablo 3 has a very good transmog system. Now this, of course, is just the weapons. You could go back up to the helmets here. So my helmet is the Mempo of Twilight, okay? That's the statistical item that I am using that's going to be on my character sheet. But I can change it to, you know, whatever I want. There's a crown, you know, another faceplate, a hood. You know, there's several different options that I've collected throughout the game in Diablo 3. Just like there is numerous items in the collection tabs in Neverwinter, I would really love to see something like this introduced into Neverwinter. I don't think it would take that much time. I don't know. I don't know the possibilities of what they can and cannot do. Are they going to take the simple way out, the easy way out? Chances are yes. I wanted to put this video together mainly as a suggestion video. I hope they'll at least look at it and maybe think about it. I mean, there shouldn't be a reason that this can't be done. You already have the collections tab. You already have all of those items in everybody's database file that says that yes, they've collected this item. All you have to do is make a new, a new vendor or a new NPC that you could go to, and it will just bring up your whole collections tab. And if you want to transmog this, that's that, blah blah blah. You know, bing bang boom. So let's go ahead and jump right back into Neverwinter. I'll give you guys a conclusion and then we'll wrap up the video. Alright guys, and we're back. We're back here in Neverwinter. We're back on the Xbox currently. We started on the PC, then we went to Diablo 3, and now we're back on Neverwinter, but on the Xbox. So I just want to wrap up the video. Like I said, Thomas Foss, anyone from Cryptic that may be watching this video, it's just a suggestion. I mean, you could tweak it any way you see fit. I just don't want you to take the easy way out and toss an item in the Zen market that you're not really going to make any revenue off of anyway. You know, I like looking cool, but I don't like looking cool enough to spend X amount of money to remove transmogs. So most people have that same philosophy too. They're not going to pay real life money for fashion. You're talking about a very small percentile of your overall population that even cares about role playing and fashion. So for instance, just as I want to reiterate, if we go to my collection tabs, you know, I've collected a lot of things throughout my gaming on Neverwinter. So for instance, if we go down to, you know, anything. We just pick any map if we want. We'll just go to Schult because it's the latest. You know, I have all this Huntsman gear I can transmog over. I don't have Pilgrim or Pioneer because no one cares about that. But even if we go, here we go, the hunts. Like, I literally have just about every hunt item. Now, as it sits currently, if I wanted to transmog something, I would have to go get another one of these because I don't currently have one. Now, in my collections, it says, yes, I have gotten one before. I have collected it. There's no reason that there shouldn't be some kind of vendor that I can go to and just willy-dilly pick whatever I want to transmog over. That's my feelings on it. Like I said, maybe some of you don't agree with that method or have a better way. Please feel free to leave a comment below. I will try to filter the comments, and if you guys have a better suggestion as far as transmogs go, I can always forward it on to the appropriate people. But like I said, yeah, I have collected, you know, along, like, look at the Stronghold stuff. Just for instance, if we go to the Stronghold stuff here, if I can find what I'm looking for. Here we go. Dragonflight. How long has it been since we've had Dragonflight, guys? A very, very long time, right? Now, if I, for instance, wanted to have a Dragonflight look, the helmet, for instance, if I wanted this helmet, you know, I should be able to do it. I shouldn't have to go get another Dragonflight helmet just to transmog it. Now, also at the very same time, I do want to mention that Neverwinter does really like to reuse skins. So for instance, this helmet skin, you can find this helmet skin elsewhere. Okay? It's not only the Dragonflight helmet that has this helmet skin. This helmet skin is actually a very common skin. And that's another problem overall with the whole transmog system, is that there's very few options even out there. Most of the armors, including some that they just introduced in Mod 13, are actually just reskins of old armor in the first place. So, yeah, Cryptic, maybe get your artists together and put some new, you know, armor out there. I mean, a lot of Mod 13, yes, it was new skins. A lot of Mod 12, yes, it is new skins. But there is also a lot of stuff that is basically just reskinned. They're rehashed, recolored. They're essentially the same skin, just different color. So that's one issue with the transmog system so far that I could think of. But there is some things out there. Okay, here's another case in point, really quickly, and we'll wrap up the video. I, for instance, have a Shadow Wolf headpiece. That's going to be coming from Mod 5, okay? This doesn't drop anymore. You cannot get this item, okay? And the Shadow Wolf headpiece, as you can clearly see, I have listed for 45 million AD. I don't expect to get 45 million AD. I've already had offers on it. And I've had to turn them down because they were a little low. I've had upwards of already 30 million, and I turned it down. This is probably one of the very last Shadow Wolf headpieces that you can even get on Xbox. There isn't that many more unbound out there. So to get this specific transmog, if someone was to pay 45 million AD for this, put it on their helmet currently, but then they upgrade their helmet, like say in Mod 15, well, there goes your 45 million transmog, okay? Yeah, it sucks. It needs to be improved on. What's so special about the Shadow Wolf? Nothing much. It's very, you know, it's a wolf, you know? Now, there is another wolf headpiece in the game that they brought back, but it is not the exact same look as this one in particular. So that's why, you know, there are people out there that are super try-hard sweaty that just, you know, they want to be the coolest and the best at the same time. Especially if they weren't around in Mod 5, they couldn't get this. Simple as that. They couldn't get this. Now, for instance, I think I do actually have the other wolf one that they put in game. Let me look really quickly before we wrap up the video. Let's see here. Yeah, it's right here. Guys of the Wolf Clan. So this is what they introduced. Here, I'll withdraw it. Actually, I can preview it. This is what they introduced to replace the one that I just showed you. Now you can clearly see it's different. It is nowhere near the same. This one that I currently have equipped is actually dyed black. This isn't what it comes like. But you can clearly see it's different. The other one looks 10 times better. This is the one that they came back with because everyone wanted the wolf helmet. And they were like, well, we're not going to give you the same one from Mod 5, but here's this one. So that's why that original one is so sought after and it's so high in price. So here's the thing, if someone were to pay $45 million for that Mod 5 Transmog and be able to have it forever, then that's a different story. Chances are is I wouldn't even sell it at that point. If I knew for a fact that I could keep that Transmog forever, I would use it myself. So please leave me a comment below. I know this video was a little longer than normal, especially that we're talking about fashion and transmogs. One more thing to note, I would like Thomas Foss, please add a feature in the game to turn off the ability of your weapon enchantment and your armor enchantment. Just add something in where you can turn the particle effects off. Okay? That should not be hard at all to do. We've wanted that for a very long time and we're still waiting for it. As you can see on my screen right now, I'm using, an unparalleled bark shield. Well, it looks like complete butt cheeks, and I don't want those flying stones around me. However, I do not have a choice. So please give us an option to either turn that off or even transmog our enchantments. Because if I could use a blood drinkers, you bet your sweet ass I would take the dripping blood effect on my armor rather than have these floating rocks around me. So that's how we're going to end the video. Thomas Foss, I love you. Hire me. I will make you lots of money. No, seriously though. That's going to wrap up the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little something different. We normally don't discuss this stuff, but I wanted to put this video out there just because I know that they want to work on that stuff. And if they're going to put the time and resources and dedication into doing it, I want to see a system like Diablo 3 where I can just trade, I can just transmog whatever I want, dilly-dilly, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I love you all.